July meeting, North Highlands Recreation Park District order. First item on the agenda is the approval of the June 12th minutes. Were there any changes or corrections to those minutes? Hearing none, can I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Thank you.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstention, motion passed unanimously. Next item on is chairperson's report. I've got nothing for this month. Next item is comments from board members. Anyone want to comment?
Good.
Well, we commented before the meeting that this month has a nice tan.
We just successfully completed our first round of swimming lessons.
Oh, good.
A new swimming staff, but very patient.
Good.
And what's the youngest we have swimming lessons for?
2.
Two?
Well,
Technically,
you can do what the mommy and me type
that
thing.
you can, they will work with you here.
I think almost everybody's well. I'm not saying we're not good, but
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, we'll go ahead and move on to reports from standing committees. I think we've got one under new business. Anything else? Okay, administrators report. There, is there anything you want to highlight or add to your report?
Just a correction under, at the bottom of the first page of the maintenance report, it says reprogramming maintenance hours. I put 213, 214, it's actually 214, 215.
Okay. Diane probably caught that. Let you know. Okay. Any questions for Larry?
No.
Okay, Scott, is there anything you want to add or highlight?
Just one thing that's not in my report, believe it or not, the fall winter activity guide will hit mailboxes around August 1st. So it's in production now and will be going out right around the end of the month.
Perfect. Any questions for Scott? Okay, well, we'll go ahead and move on to item 7, correspondence, which is going to be under new business, I think. That's not okay. Am I blind? Oh, it's right, the first one. Okay. Good. Okay. Item 8, comments and reports from citizens and organizations. Okay, we have no one. Item 9, unfinished. We have none. Item 10, new business, which is the correspondence, the fee waiver for the rec center from the Friends for Survival Incorporated. If I remember correctly, yeah, that's right. This is Kay's old organization. I know we've approved this in the past, and I just always ask the question, does staff have any concerns?
No.
We're all good?
We're all good, yeah.
Okay. Anyone else have any questions in? All right. Can I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Okay.
I'll second that.
So this is for next fiscal year, correct?
She wants it for the fourth this year, she forgot to come back for this year and for next year.
So I mean, she's got 14, 15.
She's got 14, 15.
14,
For
15.
this year, the whole month, the whole year.
The whole year?
Yeah, she forgot to come back at the beginning of January.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd like to say something.
No, that's fine.
Pending that we don't have another organization that is willing to pay a fee
Right.
for that evening.
When do they meet?
Every second Tuesday of the month.
Second Tuesday, okay. All right.
They did make also was it Terry, a $200
Donation.
donation
Okay.
as well to help offset the costs.
Okay, so we're looking at then calendar years through 2015, so December of 2015.
Yes.
Everyone get that in
Yeah.
motion? We're all good. Okay, so we have a motion, a second. Any other discussion? All right, hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention. Motion passes unanimously. As I switch pages, next item is, oh, that's right, this was brought up by a couple of us, is the February 2015 board meeting, which falls on Lincoln's birthday. I believe that's what it was, right?
Yes.
Yes, okay. It's not been a good day. So we have a few options. As Does anyone have any preferences? We don't have to, at least I don't think we actually have to schedule a meeting quite yet, but I want to at least get it off so we know it's not going to be that day. Does anyone have any suggestions on days?
I have a preference, first preference of Wednesday, February the 11th. Second preference is Thursday, February the 5th, and my third preference would be February 19th.
I would prefer not the 19th.
Okay. Well, I mean, these are just the dates that we kind of put right now, that I'm assuming the room's available, that's why we put those dates, okay. Anyone else have any preferences? Does staff have any preferences?
I like the 5th, that's my first preference, because February's too quick. It's just fast.
Well, yeah, if we move to the 19th, then it's on, well, we move to the 19th, it's only, well, it's 4 weeks later to the next meeting. We move it from to the 5th, then it's 1, 2, 4, 2. So, I mean, either way, the meeting before the 5th, if we go to the 5th, then it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks. The 11th, to me, is probably not gonna work.
Okay.
Possibly, I'd rather stick to a Thursday. I personally don't have a preference on the 5th or the 19th at this point.
I'll go with the 5th.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think the 19th will
Well,
work
the
for me.
5th,
I like the 5.
we want 5, okay. So, do we actually need a motion for this? Because that's our set meeting day? Or, we'll put it in motion just to
Get
make
a
it.
motion that way.
So does anyone want to make a motion to change the February date from the 12th to the 5th?
So moved at 6:30?
15th?
Second.
All right, no, not the 2nd, the 5th.
Take the 5th on that.
Okay. All right, okay, so, motion was to move it February 5th, 2015, same time, 6:30. We had a second, all those in favor, any other discussion? All right, thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstention? Okay. Item C, under new business, Twin Rivers Unified School District pool status and construction use agreement, or discussion action on the Highlands Sports Pool status reports. Is this, who's
I can jump in and get started.
Okay.
It's, as you read, it's complicated, but in the end, it's really not that complicated.
Okay.
We did the pool study. You have a copy of it in your packet. I
We
kind
have a
of
color one too.
I did try to do a summary in my report of the situation. I think it's very clear that we have a 50-year-old pool that is going to cost quite a bit of money to repair. There's different estimates to repair it, from the bare bones repairs that you probably wouldn't notice a whole lot of changes, but it might get it up to code, all the way to replacing the pool. The issues really that we have is that we have an expiring contract with the school district in December. In December, that 50-year agreement we signed in 1964 essentially goes away, and there is a provision in that agreement that, again, we don't know what the number is, but a provision there that Twin Rivers would have to pay our district for our interest that we've made into the pool. And I'm sure that there would be some discussions about what that value is. But as we go forward, we know that the pool cannot be repaired in time if they decided to do it tomorrow. It's just not going to be ready in time. Twin Rivers has already taken some action to work on another pool next year, grant. Same company, Archpack, is doing that pool. But what we want to bring to the board is really to take a look at how we go forward with this pool. We have an option with Highlands Pool. They spoke with Scott last year and offered us a chance to use a pool at a price that would actually save a tremendous amount of money from what we're paying right now to operate the current pool. So financially, that makes a lot of sense. We also want to look at the fact that we have this expiring contract that has some language in it that seems rather clear that the school district is going to have to pay us something by not renewing. We have two things have happened. One thing has happened since you received your packet. Apparently, the school district put it on their agenda last week to take action on entering into a new-year contract, a two-year extension with our school, with our district. Excuse me. That was a discussion we had, but I told them that we would be doing nothing until we had a chance to address our board and see what direction we wanted to go in. So again, without being too repetitive, we have a pool that is going to require a tremendous amount of money. We don't have that money to make those repairs, and I would not recommend to the board to invest in that pool since we don't own it. It's not on our property. We do have what appears to be a viable option to move our program to. As you know, the swim team, we had to make a mid-year adjustment. They have no problem with the depth of the pool at Highlands, but even if they repaired the pool, they would have to actually dig out this shell of this current pool to make it deep enough for for the swim team to use. What we don't want to find ourselves in is in a situation in the future where part of the program is at one pool and part of the program is another pool. It just won't work well that way. So staff met with the committee several weeks ago. We went through the issues of the current pool. We went through kind of a cost analysis of benefit to our district as to which options would be in our best interest while still allowing us to have a pool. And so bottom line is that staff is recommending, which our committee agreed with us when we met with them, that it would be in our best interest not to renew the existing agreement beyond its expiration date. Second, then to enter into a discussion with the school district about the language that's in the existing contract that appears to provide some sort of buyout, payout to our district, and then for our district then to begin negotiations with the school district to use Highlands Pool. One thing I just want to keep in mind is that this pool that we're currently using is not just the structural problems and mechanical problems, it's losing 3,000 gallons of water a week. Right now, the school district is paying that, and just so you know, they were on a well a year ago, Scott, and switched over to non-well water. They are now paying for all this lost water. I highly doubt that they're going to want to enter into an agreement with us without us paying for this lost water. I don't think we can afford to do that. Truthfully, I'm not sure that they're going to be able to keep that pool open next year. I don't know how they can do it in its current condition. But one of the things that is really important that we need to look at is when we look at our net cost of operating that pool, we are subsidizing, in the neighborhood of $30,000, $25,000, $30,000 to keep that pool operating. To use the same pool at Highlands would cost us probably in the ballpark of $7,500. So we stand a chance to possibly financially improve our standing by getting out of the contract, by letting it expire, but also by going to Highlands, we also save a substantial amount of money by doing it. And one other thing I wanted to point out too that's not in the report, the contract was fairly clear as to what the division of responsibility was when we have to take care of the pool, when they have to take care of the pool. However, it's come to my attention that we have not been following that contract closely enough. And over time, what has happened is our maintenance guy has been maintaining that pool on a year-round basis. So when I say 20 hours a week, it's 20 hours a week across the board, and sometimes more in the summertime. So we are saved by, again, moving, not going back to that pool and going to Highlands. We also save basically a half of a foreman position, which we can then reprogram those hours into needs that we have for our district. So I think it's a kind of it's a complicated situation, but in the end, I think there's really only one way to go with this in the district's best interest, and that is to move forward with the recommendation as it's outlined in the report.
Committee want to say anything?
We pretty much that's our conversation.
Yeah.
My only concern is for the local community right here. I mean, I just don't know how many people basically walk to the pool, and once we leave it, it would